Goes down dog legs right, and then it opens up kind of into a high-speed groomer.
Cool.
So whatever you want to do here.
Ski.
Okay.
I'm just gonna follow you, and you're gonna jump off something. Hey skiers, I'm Jeff from Skiessentials.com, back here in my basement once again to do another 2021 ski review. This is another Rossignol review because we're in the Rossignol month of what was our Ski Happy photo contest, but is now the Stay Home Happy photo contest. So get creative from home, show us, how you're having fun from home. Maybe get on your ski gear and get creative. Do something just kind of fun. Have some fun with it. And somebody's going to win a pair of those Sender skis next to me that we looked at last week. So another Black Ops ski today. This is the Holyshred. And this one's kind of cool because this is one of the skis that helped start the entire new expanded Black Ops line. That's because this is also the Black Ops 98 from previous years. This year, for 2020, it had that red panther graphic on it that was pretty sweet. So it's actually the same ski carried over from years past, and a lot of the technology in this ski was actually kind of taken and used in the new Black Ops skis like the Sender and the Sender TI that we've talked about. So pretty cool. This one, unlike those Senders, is a twin tip, which is how the Black Ops line started. Basically, originally it was just one ski, which was huge, and that ski is now the Gamer. That was the Black Ops 118. So that's kind of started the whole thing. Then came this ski, the Black Ops 98, and then, as we've talked about, now it's a ton of skis. So this is kind of the one that started it all, or one of two that started it all, and really cool. So let's kind of run through what makes up this ski, so to speak. So poplar wood core to start. If you remember, poplar is the same thing that's in the Sender TI. And then there's a partial metal laminate underfoot. So basically the same concept as what we saw in the Sender. So a lot of the construction elements are used in different Black Ops skis. It's really interesting to see kind of what is used in what ski and what's used in others. This one gets damp tech, just like pretty much all of them do. So rubber inserts in the tips and the tails. And then you also get, Rossignol in their catalog is calling it Diago fiber, which is basically a cross-hatching application. Very, very similar to carbon alloy matrix. So that's essentially the recipe of these skis. The shape is pretty cool. Like I said, it's a twin tip shape, camber underfoot, rocker tips and tails. A little bit of early taper in the tip. Not really any early taper in the tail in my opinion, but some kind of smooth, slight early taper in the tip. A little bit longer tip rocker than tail rocker, but not like a tremendous amount of rocker really. And then the camber height, which is important for these skis, is actually relatively high. So if you look at that right there, that's a fair amount of camber, and it runs a good portion of the ski. Excuse me. So that's it. That's the Holyshred, or that's the construction and the shape of the Holyshred. I thought it would be cool to ring up Bob. It's been a little while since we've brought Bob into one of these reviews. Bob got to ski these day down in Waterville in some really nice softer snow conditions, so I thought we would let Bob kind of chime in with his thoughts on soft snow. So I hope you enjoy that, and then we'll come right back here and kind of talk about the rest of the performance categories for this ski. Hey Bob, how are you?
Good, Jeff. How's it going?
Pretty good. It's been a while since you and I talked about a ski, so I figured we would kind of just get together and chat about this Holyshred. Hopefully you're not annoyed by the kayaking footage in the back. That's basically what's keeping me going right now. Is I can't wait for kayaking season.
No, I'm
Uh,
just jealous because my ski footage wouldn't show up behind me today.
that's
But
okay.
all
It's
right.
technical difficulties happen sometimes. So Bob, you got to ski this Holyshred back on a pretty awesome day at Waterville. Um, I want to say they got maybe like 6 or 8 inches the night before.
Yeah.
So let's kind of talk specifically about soft snow performance. And ironically, it's snowing outside right now. What'd you think?
I love that ski in soft snow. We talked about it earlier, and I've been skiing on like a Dina Star Slicer for a
Sure.
number of years, especially in telemark skiing. So I'm really like a fan of that wider twin tip shape ski, no full sheets of metal in it or anything like that.
Yeah.
And that build really makes it a ton of fun in the soft snow. And we had, like you said, 6, 8 inches, something like that. And just the way that the tips of the skis stay right on top of the snow is really nice.
Yep.
Twin tip shape lets you release the turn kind of whenever you want. It's a flatter tail in that shape might hook you in, but that turned up tail really makes for a ton of fun. You can really smear your turns around and hold them tight if you want. It's just a really versatile ski, especially in that soft snow. Wide enough to get the necessary float,
Right.
maybe, 2 feet of snow somewhere out west, nice, light and dry, might not cut it, but
That's when like the gamer comes in. They've got the much wider version of this
right.
ski. So
Yeah.
that's your pure powder ski. But this thing's pretty darn fun in soft snow. And I think another thing that was cool about it, and that was it came into play on that day at Waterville, is you and I kept skiing that same trail over and over again that
Yeah.
like no one else was skiing, because it was kind of like it wasn't right in front of you. You had to like make a weird turn to get to it. And that trail was great. There was really good snow on it, but there were also like some frozen boulders chunks within that soft snow. And I think the stability and that damp factor of this ski helped it not to get deflected.
Right. Whereas like a stiffer ski, we kind of talk about this as maybe that alternative for that person that's, on that Bonafide or Enforcer 100 that just
Right.
doesn't want to like clench their teeth the whole time. And, this ski with that softer flex allows it to, allows the ski to do more of the work in terms of absorbing those hits.
Yeah.
And yeah, that did get tricky, but, no loss of confidence at all with that ski. Even without those metal laminates. I mean, that thing's pretty stout.
Yeah. It does. There is a partial metal sheet right underfoot.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, unlike the Sender TI, it doesn't extend through the whole ski. It's kind of a similar conversation to that Sender, the non-TI, where you do have a little bit of metal, but it's just positioned underfoot. But yeah, that damp tech, the rubber inserts they put into the tip and tail are pretty darn cool. Definitely one
Yeah.
of my favorite things about the ski, just the way that it gives it a super smooth feel, with really good vibration damping.
Yeah, and I don't think either of us was complaining that no one else was skiing that trail and just kind of
Yeah.
nicely leaving all that all that fresh snow to us. I think that was just fine.
That was great. Great. Thanks, Bob. I just wanted to get your input kind of on soft snow performance.
Yeah. Glad
I'll
to
let
keep
you,
talking about skis. We would have had, another 4 days of list served at this point. So it's still
Sure.
nice to keep it fresh in the mind.
Absolutely. I'll let you get back to plugging away, writing ski test results.
Yeah. Well, I'll let you get back to kayaking. It looks like a nice little river behind you there.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite spots in the world, actually. I've spent like an insane amount of my time there. Not anymore. Back in coastal Maine. But yeah, Bob, we'll talk to you soon. Thank you.
Okay, have a good day.
You too. Bye. Yeah, so that was really fun. It was really fun to get a chance to chat with Bob this morning and kind of share our thoughts on this ski and get his experience and his kind of first-hand feedback on it. So yeah, really fun in soft snow, very smooth. I think you get a little bit more float than you would expect out of a 98 waist ski. And then the other side of this ski is this thing rips on firm snow. The twin tip ski is, especially a 98 millimeter underfoot twin tip ski, chances are it's going to be pretty fun in soft snow. That's like, it'd be hard to make a twin tip like that wasn't fun in soft snow. But oftentimes you don't get a ton of firm snow performance. The application of that metal underfoot and then the damp tech and the tips and tails, this thing is super, super smooth. I mean, the vibration damping is truly off the charts. I mean, it's right up there with like the Sender TI, that ski that uses a full sheet of metal. This is not the Sender TI, that's the normal Sender. But it's right up there among those skis, even though it doesn't use a full sheet of metal. I think some of that has to do with the flex pattern. This ski flexes a little bit softer than some of the other skis in the line, but it's still certainly stiff enough and torsionally stiff enough to handle some aggressive turns, some aggressive skiing. Just, it does a really good job absorbing vibrations and just kind of like varieties in the snow surface. If they're firm kind of variations, it just soaks those things right up. It's one of those skis that kind of feel like it has suspension, which I always like. And then also on groomers, kind of the other side of that, which you don't always get with skis that are this smooth and damp, with that camber height and with the pseudo softer flex pattern, you can load up a ton of kinetic energy in these things, and you can really get them to flex into shorter radius turns, which I have a lot of fun doing, and it's something that I talk about frequently in our reviews. Being 150 pounds, sometimes it's harder to get a really stiff ski to flex into a shorter turn, but these, I think they do it really, really well, and it's kind of like you can get two different kind of style turns out of them on groomers, or specifically carving turns. You can kind of just ride them and let them cruise, and they have these super smooth big arcs. And then if you start initiating this portion of the ski, instead of just kind of laterally initiating a turn, if you're kind of giving it more forebody input, you really start to get the ski to flex and flex into shorter turns, and then it gets like really quick and really snappy and really responsive, which is fun. And then the other side of the ski, the other reason why I personally like it so much, is this thing's right up my alley as an ex kind of slopestyle competitor, ex freestyle guy. It's super fun. These days I'm 34 years old, so I'm not nearly as aggressive or crazy as the next generation or young guns in the park, so to speak, but I still like to go in the park fairly frequently, or by most people's standards, a lot. And a ski like this works really well for me. In fact, this isn't my daily driver, but it easily could be, because the ski that I ski on most days is very, very, very similar. And what I like about a ski like this is you can rip around the whole mountain. You can go ski some trees. You can go rip carving turns on groomers with your racer buddies. And then you can also take it into the park, which for me as a park skier, terrain park skiing adds a whole nother element into the whole idea of skiing. On days when the snow is bad, you can still go slide rails. And that's something that's really important to me and really valuable to me as a skier, and something that you can do on this ski, which is why it really hits home for me. So that's it. That's the Black Ops 98. Really fun ski. Or Black Ops Holyshred, my apologies. Used to be the Black Ops 98. I think we actually still have some of the Panther graphic, which I really like. These new Black Ops graphics, are more subtle, more subdued, which I like too. They have more kind of like earthy tones, but that Panther is pretty cool. So if you're checking them out and you see that Panther and you want a Holyshred, rest assured that Panther Black Ops 98 is the same thing. So yeah, let us know if you have any questions about this ski. Hopefully we'll fit in one more Rossi review before this month is over. I really want to get Allie's thoughts on the Rally Bird, which is the women's version of that ski. There's also a women's version of this ski called the Blazer, which Allie has skied too, so maybe we'll get her thoughts on that at the same time. So yeah, thanks again for joining me here in my basement. Really hope that we can get outside and get together soon, and hopefully Bob and I can start chatting about skis in the studio rather than digitally on a video call. So that's it. We'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks a lot. Hope you're staying happy and safe and healthy.